profiling the 1984-85 Star Michael Jordan XRC Extended Rookie number 101. Strap on your belts, homies, because we're about to go for a ride. All I have to say is, how on earth did we forget about this card? Well, I know how, but guess what? Your minds are about to be blown. Michael Jordan is hands down the greatest of all time, and this is his first officially licensed card in a Chicago Bulls jersey. Let me say it again. This is his first officially licensed card. As a kid growing up in the 80s and 90s, this card was always untouchable. The price was always higher than the 1986 Fleer, but more importantly, you just rarely ever saw the card. Now, as time has gone by, we understand better why. It was just much more rare. Yet my approach to this iconic card is not going to be what you hear from most guys. Some collectors think in order to like one card, you have to pit it against another, but not me. I love the 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie, and to me, it's the greatest basketball card of all time and by far the most iconic. It will always be my absolute favorite basketball card. That said, it doesn't mean it has to be your favorite or even that it should be his most valuable. I'll leave that up to you guys in your IG debating. I put them side by side as two must-have pieces of history. When I hold the 85 Star, I feel like I have something very few people on earth have of Michael Jordan's. Then I set it down and I pick up the 86 Fleer and I feel like I'm holding something every collector on earth wants. The two together are dynamic. In my opinion, you can't call yourself an MJ collector and not truly appreciate and understand his first card. These two cards stand completely and totally on their own, and yet they complement each other unlike any two other cards I can think of. The 86 has the iconic dunk, comes in the Hall of Fame packed 86 Fleer set with other amazing rookies, and it's hands down the most widely known basketball card ever. Y'all don't want to mess with my MJ rookie. Yet the 85 Star is his first official card. It's incredibly more rare and has a story attached to it that makes owning a genuine, authentic copy something that sets your collection apart from most people on planet Earth. And yes, the argument can be made all day that this is his true rookie card, but this is not the time nor place for that. Again, you need both of these cards. As a collector, the image and aesthetics of the Star are as unique as the card is rare. The red border matches the vintage Red Bulls jersey. But let's go deeper. Think for a second about all of the thousands and thousands of Michael Jordan basketball cards that have ever been printed. Literally thousands upon thousands, and this card alone can claim it started it all. Now, think for a second about what almost every single popular Jordan card has in common. An image of MJ scoring, dunking, driving, or flying through the air. An overwhelmingly common theme. Usually an iconic slam, a game-winning fadeaway, or a jump shot. Yet again, in unparalleled rare fashion, his first card stands out. The future GOAT recently drafted number 3 behind a guy named Sam Bowie grabbing a rebound. Ha! What a letdown. Or is it? The greatest player and scorer of all time grabbing a rebound on his first card? What? Yet that is where the story of his first card sets itself apart from the rest. The image the marketing team at Star chose for his first ever appearance clearly tells us that old Harry and Lloyd in marketing had absolutely no idea what Michael Air Jordan would one day represent. In 1984, no one knew Michael Jordan would one day be known globally by his Nike Jumpman logo. They knew he was good, but no one at the time knew MJ dunking would one day be the image that the entire world would recognize. MJ grabbing a rebound on a card is almost unrecognizable. Why? Because this brand new rookie was almost unrecognizable. As MJ's brand would soon develop, a non-scoring image would almost feel sinful and would surely prove nearly impossible to get past future quality control. That's what makes his first card so special. In 1984, they simply didn't know who this new drafted rookie would one day become. If the guys at Star knew the future, you can be certain they would have chosen a different image for the first card they'd ever release to the public. The Star number 101 is rare in production and equally rare in image. This card tells a story. When it was released, the story had not yet been written. I'm telling you guys, this card hits different. The Star was issued in team polybags with MJ on top, and the 86 was randomly inserted into wax packs. When you bought a 1985 Star Chicago Bulls polybag, you knew you'd be getting an MJ rookie. But not many people got to open those bags. In fact, while numbers vary on how many Bulls polybags were released, estimates as low as 2,000 and as high as 5,000 give us an idea of how low the print really is. For the greatest of all time, that is incredibly, incredibly low. The Star number 101 Michael Jordan stands completely on its own, and no other card comes close to it, not even the 86 Fleer. And yet, the 84 will never be the 86 and never come close to it. That is crazy to think about. These cards both fulfill completely different roles and therefore should not be pitted against each other, but appreciated side by side. I'll let you pit LeBron versus MJ, Kobe versus MJ, but for me, these two MJ cards go together and I will never pit them against each other. Believe me, the fame of Michael Jordan and his impact on the sports world can handle two cards that are must-haves for every true MJ fan. Look at how many different rookie variations we see of these modern players. Seems like hundreds. In order to help paint a picture, let's go back in time a little bit and build some context here. For those of us growing up in the 90s, the Beckett Price Guide was our manual. It was how we gauged the card world, and Beckett and his team were truly the early experts. Let's start by looking at this 1993 Beckett list of MJ's top 15 most sought-after cards. This can be found in the Beckett Tribute to Michael Jordan's Cards, issue number 3. Look what card just happens to be at the top. It's obvious the most desirable cards of the time also had the highest price. In the 1990 first ever issue of Beckett Basketball Card Magazine, the Star number 101 in mint condition was valued at $200. The 86 number 57 was $175. The Star was 14.3% higher in value. Now let's jump to the 14th issue of Beckett from September of 1991. In a little over a year, the Star number 101 had skyrocketed to $750, and the 86 number 57 had jumped drastically also to $330. Now the Star was 127% higher in value. Let's fast forward a little more, exactly 5 years to the September 74th issue of Beckett Basketball. Now the Star number 101 in mint condition was valued at $2,900, and the 86 number 57 was valued at $1,000. The 85 Star was now 190% higher in value, both cards continually increasing in value. But the Star was increasing more and at a faster rate. It seemed actually that the Star would set the ceiling, and it actually was very beneficial to the price of the 86 Fleer. That's mind-blowing. As it stands today, I don't care which card sets the next record. I love them both because I know what they both are. The 86 shines because it's the image the world knows. The 85 shines because you're much less likely to own his first official card in a Bulls jersey. So what happened over time? Well, people got scared. As criminals started to realize how valuable the 85 Star Michael Jordan was, they began to create fake copies. Yet what you don't hear is that now these fakes and reprints are not difficult to identify. In fact, here's a plot twist many of you aren't ready for. There exist way more counterfeit and reprinted versions of the 1986 Fleer by far than the 85 Star. Why is that? Well, because it's the iconic dunk. The iconic card, simple and plain, a lot more 86 Fleer to go around. Many stories are floating around about Star employees reprinting the 85 Star MJ years later with Star equipment, but according to expert Steve Taft, these are simply not true. There are fragments of truth, but they've been embellished and twisted through the years. Bottom line is this: Beckett knows how to identify these reprint cards. Just do your research and buy a graded one. Don't be scared. After coming under hot water for grading some fake Star 101s, PSA decided to stop grading the card. But guess who was around before our friends at PSA? Dr. James Beckett and his team. In fact, Beckett Grading brought in star expert Steve Taft to teach them how to grade MJ's first ever, highly condition sensitive, often miscut, and often off-centered official card. There's no mystery. The true copies of this iconic card are easy for experts to identify, and if you buy it in a Beckett graded holder, you're good, bro. In fact, if it's off-centered, the more likely it is to be genuine. The 85 MJ Star, as I mentioned, is much more rare than the 86 Fleer. I share this again only so we understand the sheer difference in card volume here. This explains why back in the day, the price of the 85 was always higher. When a guy let that card go, you had to pay that man to let it go. For example, in their pop report, PSA has only 10 graded copies of the 85 Star, while at the same time they've graded over 20,000 copies of the 86 Fleer. I love rare cards and I love iconic cards, and MJ has one of each that are both rookies. I need them both. We have to get our minds off of supply and demand just for a minute and let ourselves understand that there are 20,847 more copies of the 86 Fleer that have been graded by PSA. Again, these cards complement each other, but it's less likely you'll own the Star and more likely you'll recognize the iconic image of the 86 Fleer. My two favorite MJ cards. Remember again, our research from the early 90s showed us the better the Star XRC did, the better the 1986 Fleer Rookie did. They aren't in opposition. They will always be tied together whether you like it or not. So if you own an 86 Fleer, it's in your best interest for the Star 101 to rise in value. If you own a Star 101, you want to see the 86 Fleer rise. And the amazing thing is, both cards always have done just that. The higher the ceiling for the Star, the higher the 86 Fleer will go, and vice versa. Man, I thought y'all knew. BGS has only graded 930 of the 1985 Star XRC, as opposed to having graded 11,736 of the 86 Fleer. Again, a huge difference in availability, and yet an equally huge difference in worldwide iconic notoriety. The fame goes to the 86 Fleer. The age and rarity goes to the 85 Star. I love them both and I want them both because, again, I know why both cards are special and they can't replace each other. Bottom line is this: the 1985 Michael Jordan Extended Rookie will always be one of the greatest basketball cards of all time, and it will continue to be a must-have piece for MJ collectors and investors. Expect this card to always continue its upward trajectory. The GOAT is the GOAT, and this is truly his first official card. This was a profile of the 1984-85 Star Michael Jordan XRC Extended Rookie number 101.